Okay, welcome back. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to send a MarketWatch email newsletter to all of the people who have left their name and their email address in your GetResponse account. And so I've been getting a lot of the samples that you've sent. So I'm going to use Ed Hillebrand's MarketWatch here as our example. And it's always a good idea. The reason that I wanted you to go through the process and send it to me from your Gmail account is that that's how I always stage all of the emails that I send. I write them as a regular email. I send it to myself. I make sure I've got all the words that I want to have right, all the formatting the way, just the way I like it. And so what we've got here is Ed's version of his MarketWatch newsletter. So I'm going to just copy and paste everything that he's sent me in that email here. And that's all you can do. You send it to yourself and then you copy, and then we're going to go over to your GetResponse account. Now, you're going to log into your account, and it's going to take you right to your dashboard here. And to send a broadcast, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to Messages, and then right underneath there, Create Newsletter. So we're going to click on that. And then we're going to choose the plain text format. So we're going to click on that. Now, a lot of people say, well, why do we send the plain text versus the HTML? And I have sent millions of emails and tested where I'm looking for a response, and plain text always outperforms HTML in every test that I've done. Every email that you get from me is a plain text email. And the reason is because some spam filters are very sensitive, and any HTML where you have a link that's masked behind other text, or you have any images or pictures that are linked to anything, will trigger a spam filter, and it may get recognized as spam and put into somebody's spam folder. So from a deliverability standpoint and a performance standpoint, I always recommend sending the text messages. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to ask that you just do it this way and go with me here for the next 4 or 5 weeks, and we'll see that you'll be getting some great feedback from your MarketWatch newsletters here. So we're gonna when you click on create the newsletter and you create text, it's going to take you to this editing area here. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go right up here to the top, and I'm going to paste in the message that I took straight from the email that Ed sent me. Now, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. This red line right here shows you the recommended width for the way that your emails should be formatted. I like to go even a little bit narrower than that, just because the emails look better and they're easier to read. So they've got a neat format here where you can just go up to the right hand corner here above the editing section, and if you click on this wrap long lines, what it does is it automatically cleans everything up. It moves everything over into a nice manageable format for us there. So we've got our message in there. Now there's a couple of things that we need to do to get it prepared to send. I like to just work with the spacing here. I'm going to move that down one. If you've personalized it here, we want to make sure that what we're doing is using the wildcards that the GetResponse program has set up for us, so that it will insert anybody who's come to your website. It will insert their first name. So we're going to go up here to where it says personalize, and we're going to scroll down here to where it says first name, and we're going to put that there. And now it will insert everybody's first name. So it'll send individual messages to each of your people in your GetResponse account, and it looks like a personal message coming from you just to them. Now, we talked about our subject line. We're going to put our subject line Springfield MarketWatch. And Ed has said right here there are 23 new listings this week, so 23 new homes for sale. And then we'll put in brackets October 7th And that's going to be the format, the standardized format for how we send out our MarketWatch email subject lines. That way people will be able to recognize that this is something that is valuable to them. This is something that comes on a regular basis. And the human mind is really, it's powerful in that it's able to recognize, identify, and anticipate patterns after two incidents. So they'll get this one and then they'll get one next week and they'll remember, hey, I got one of these last week. And by the third week, they anticipate that this is happening. So there's a lot of good psychology going on here. So when we look at this, what we want to do now is just kind of scroll through here, and I look for things that are that might be just a little off spacing wise. So here's one right here. I'm just going to put a little extra space there. We got the tour times. Click here to join us. That's going to take you right to the daily tour. I'll be back next week with all the new listings, and I'm going to just put a little space there and move this down one just to kind of space things out a little more. Now we've got all of your super signature here, and then what I always like to do is add about 4 or 5 spaces at the bottom and just put a couple of dashes there to separate everything out so it kind of floats nicely on the page. So once you've got everything all set up just the way you'd like it, there are a couple of things that you can do down here that I would recommend. Number one, I would recommend that you send a test message to yourself. It'll just go to you, and you can make sure that everything is working, make sure that everything is on, and what we're going to do here is just click on test message. And when you do that, it'll say this is going to send it to Ed. So we'll test the message. That'll automatically, we've set up your GetResponse account, so your email address is in there. So it'll automatically send that test message to Ed now. When we go and do this now, another thing that I want to do is check the spam score. And I'll tell you just in the language how many of the words in your message are might trigger a spam message. So here we go. Here's one where it says your spam score is 1.20. Now you're allowed to get 5 points on this spam, but I always like to try and get 0 if we can. So it'll tell you what is causing you to get that 1.2 points. So right here it says in the body of the message you've used the words lowest price. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to look for where have we used the words lowest price or that category of thing. So here we go. So we've got super low price. That's in the first description there. So sometimes you can just modify things, and I'm going to put in super low asking price, and that makes it feel that's a little bit different than what we've got in there. But let's test it again and see if that got rid of the spam alert for us. So spam score check, 0 points. There we go. So everything in our message is spam free. We're not going to trigger any spam alerts there. We've got everything looking good. We've got the there's a spelling mistake that I just noticed. Holding Springfield house tours. So you're just doing this, giving it the once over, making sure that everything is right. And then when we're ready to go, we're going to make sure that none of these options are clicked. We don't want to track click-throughs of the links on this, because what that does is it sends an HTML message in addition to your message, and it puts a special get response link in there, and that's not what we want. The reason that we're using these Google links here is that they will track how many people have clicked on all of our messages there. So that way we've got everything. This is clean. We've got nothing selected here, and we're going to go right down here to the right hand side and click on next step. Now what we're going to see here is that this is going to get us who we want to send it to. So we're going to send it to our Springfield, search Springfield VA homes list. That's the main list from your website here. So we're going to send this to 67 people. And we're going to click next step. And here we go. We're almost ready now. We've selected 67 people. We want to send this newsletter immediately. We want to turn off our Twitter integration. We want to turn off our Facebook integration. And we want to turn off the publish in RSS feed. And then we want to click next step. And there we go. Congratulations. Your message will be sent according to your settings. So everything is set up now to send that message to 67 people who have come into Ed's website. And that is all there is to sending your MarketWatch email. And we're going to do that every week now for the next 4 to 5 weeks while we ingrain this habit both in you and ingrain this pattern in our prospects. So very easy. Watch this video again and again if you need to. Just go through the moves. Make sure that you send the test message to you so that you can make sure that everything is looks good and all your links work, and then you're on your way. That's all there is to it.